Welcome to TradeTheNBI.com. This is John. This report is for the 11th of January. What an interesting day. So, early morning we broke below the 50%, continued down past that 46.13 level, and all the way just above the 23% Fibonacci lines. And then boom, that was attractive enough for the institutional guys, and they jumped in because it was going to be a critical point because we were going to have white NBI leading over magenta. In this case, rejects it and basically complete turnaround setup. So quite interesting. From an NQ standpoint, fills the 0% of the NBI white lead from the spike there. So that's also interesting as well. Gold taking a little teeny spike up. Nothing for the euro as usual. And oil still at its elevated levels. Nothing to change there. Treasuries made a new high, but sold off a little bit going into there, so yield dropped just a little bit, but still heading in a direction that suggests higher rates overall. And Bitcoin, well, how beautiful was that? So we had this 39,471 and the low 39,470. Missed it by $1 as far as that goes, but as soon as it got there, boom, buyers. And is that a coincidence? No. I mean, we see this a lot though when it comes to our positive extreme retraces and hitting those values pretty darn close, usually within fractions, and then that instantly is an algo turn on, and boom, and in this case it did exactly that. So nice to see that do exactly like we thought it would from a daily standpoint, and see it represented like this. From an ETH, Ethereum, put in a nice little magenta dot sell right as it broke down from there, and literally white spike, made it back to the 0%, proceeded to dip from there, but then everything caught a bit off that Bitcoin dip as well as the market turnaround, and fought its way back up quite nicely, but still interesting that it broke below that 3,000 level as well. So there's some, interesting things taking place with the cryptocurrencies as far as each of them really having those big drawdown configurations. So from a 50K standpoint, it was in a deep sell most of the day, and then the buy program also from the open and the game one purchase literally right down at the bottoms. And because you had magenta leading that whole way, and you had the deep dip of orange below red, and it shut up pretty quick as far as moving back above -13 and then dipped back down again. So a secondary configuration that was certainly much stronger, and then also you had the shakeout with yellow over magenta and then moving above the -13, which is positive, and then it just continued from there. So it was pretty strong, but intraday, it was wild. We had the sell all the way up here at 46.60, and then I marked where we had our turnaround set up. It was all the way down about here at 45.86. And that's where it got a little interesting, because that pushed all the way back up to 100%, put it in a little brief sub-configuration there, but at the 50%, you kept having magenta leading, and even after the last spike that took place right there, magenta spiked back above the 40 level, negating that one and giving it flip to the green, and from that, it was just pretty much almost 100% move right back the opposite direction. And that was pretty clean. Started putting in a couple little soft signals midway through, and that was enough to get it to the 50%, and when it got to the 50%, the magenta popping back above over it and producing the same secondary buy configuration. So that's nearly 100 points to the downside, and almost the same amount going back up. That's what I call volatility, and pretty extreme volatility for that matter. So welcome to the wild ride. Talk about clearing stops and seeing what's available down there now. I think it's pretty clear for them, and there really wasn't a whole lot of resistance on that move back up. I mean, it just sailed pretty cleanly, slowly and methodically all the way, and after just that brief little pause did exactly the same thing. So plenty of resource out there to buy it up, and that's what you get when you have that free money out there, and continuation of low rates while people are going to take advantage of them when they can. And so that's where we're at this particular stage. So an incredible day, very exciting stuff. As always, though, I will continue to update you on Skype chat. Trade well. Talk to you later.